It's river season is now upon us, and I grew up fishing the River Gippin in Suffolk, and I absolutely loved it. And when I was, I don't know, I've got some photographs somewhere, I'll dig them out. I guess I was 13, something like that. And I went down to Hawks Mill, which anyone from around that area will know. Hawks Mill was fabled as a place where you'd go fishing on the river. It looks very different now. When I was training for West Highland Way, me and my friend Paul walked along there, and yeah, it looks very, very different. But there used to be a really small little weir, and I used to have proper little blonde hair, and my nan, bless her, she used to idolise John Wilson, because believe it or not, back when I was a kid, that was the only fishing on TV. And I got to meet him and got to know him through my old boss, which, you know, had such a great career when it comes to things like that, meeting my idols and all that sort of thing. Anyway, so she made me an Aramall jumper, just like John Wilson used to wear in the early days of Go Fishing programmes. And I had the jacket, I had the Ryobi jacket as well. And all I used to take in the back of that jacket was bait. Everything was in the jacket. It was brilliant. And I used to take a rod, and it was a multi-use rod, so I could attach a feeder tip to the end of it. And I used to use 6-pound line. I can remember everything. And I used to have a Mitchell 300. Really old one I got second hand. Got given it actually, I think. And if you go down Hawks Mill, I'll have to dig the pictures out. And one day I caught a big chub, like a 4-pound chub, a 4-pound tench, and something else. I can't remember. There was always a carp that was up before the weir. Everyone knew that carp was in. I caught that once as well. It was about 12 pounds. And that was big when we were that age, because you could see it all the time. Everyone thought it was 50 pounds, you know, or just enormous, bigger than you could imagine. So yeah, I used to go and do that. And once I used a keep net. I think I was 13 years old, and I put the chub in a keep net, and it wasn't even summer. I had an Aran jumper on, so it was like, I guess it was like January or February. It was cold. And I watched this fish in the keep net. River was flowing through. I didn't like it at all. It's like, no, I've already caught it. I've already caught the fish. Done my bit. So I let it go. That day, you know, I could have had a hell of a catch of fish in that keep net and shown it off. But for me, it was like, well, I've caught it. I can take a picture of that fish and let it go. I didn't like that. Anyway, fast forward to now, and exactly the same thing. I can't bear looking at keep nets for the fish, because I know professionally and like morally it's not right. And your match anglers, they don't get it. They believe that because they go through all the aggravation and the motion of weighing, pouring those fish through the net in the summer as well. And it is different in the winter. It really is. I keep going on about it. It sounds so frustrating to people that don't understand, but it's totally different in the winter. Which is why we net in the winter. But in the summer, the fish are so stressed already, and you're pouring them through nets and taking ages to weigh the exact ounces and drams. Oh, waste of time most of the time. You know who's won. Anyway, but then because most of the fish swim away, you think, well, that's all right. We've done our bit. That's not good enough. So yeah, match fishing has issues. And I do relate it to when carp anglers sack up 5 or 6 fish overnight to get the perfect shot during the day. We shouldn't be doing any of that. Catch and release. Catch the fish, release it. If at all possible, catch it, do everything in the water, put it back. You know, no one's denying that we cause stress to fish. Anglers, is what we do. But we limit that stress as much as humanly possible, and it will get scrutinised more in future, and rightly so. And certainly on my watch, I can justify and prove that angling can be a cause for good and a monitoring tool, and vital in a lot of waters. So this is all really important stuff. However, catching as many fish as you can and sticking them in keep nets for 5 hours in the summertime when it's really hot, and then pouring them through nets, it's like you look like children. You look like naive, uneducated children. I'm really sorry. And I know it's been going on for years, and you can argue and say, me. it's not good. It's just not good. And there's other ways to do stuff. And when you know you haven't framed, when you know you haven't won the match, why are you still weighing in? Why? Just let him go. Oh, I've got £4. You're going to win it? No, let him go. You know, everybody knows that. And if everyone was honest and true, you go, I ain't caught it. What's the win? He's caught £100. I've caught 40. Let him go. Oh, I might frame. I might do. It's a vanity thing. Let him go. Don't put him in the... Oh, it's so frustrating. And this is what I'm asked a lot. Why are my fish dying? Why is this? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Do you have matches? Yeah, loads. You know, come on.